Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the latest episode of the Writers Podcast. I have with me today guest writer Cece Robinson. Good morning, Cece. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you, Lou?
Thank you. Thank you for asking. I'm doing great. And you're here to promote what book?
Caged. It is book 2 in the Divided series.
Okay. And what is the elevator pitch for your book?
So imagine that we fight a civil war in the United States over racial issues. Now, I know this is completely incomprehensible and you never see this happening. But 45 years after a dictator takes over, you've got kids growing up who have been separated into their ethnic groups and they've never seen someone other than their own ethnicity.
Oh,
And so my 4 main protagonists, Marcos, Rose, Harriet, and Jason, meet in an underground resistant movement and they change the world in 4
wow.
books.
So is this an alternate history?
It is a young adult dystopian, so it's futuristic
Okay.
and it's set somewhere in the late 2000s.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. So
Yes.
let's find out a little bit about yourself before we dive into
Yeah.
your books. So what was your background growing up? Were you a big reader?
I was a huge reader.
Okay.
Agatha Christie was my portal into fiction. And
Awesome.
so, like most girls my age, I loved her books
Hmm.
and read every single one of them, read every Nancy Drew, any mystery I could get my hands on as a kid. And I wrote, but I never saw myself as someone who would be a published writer. And
Okay.
so imagine my surprise when I realized, oh, I really need to publish this story and then start that process. I was a banker turned medical doctor,
Wow.
turned missionary. And so I did a lot of nonprofit writing, but I wrote some fiction, but it was not for public consumption.
Okay. Very interesting. So
Mhm.
you did not take any formal education in like creative writing then?
No. After an MD and a master in public health, I said, I'm done with school. I'm just done. So I I won't say I've had no training because I have.
Okay.
International Women's Writing Project, um, and other Gotham Fiction Writers Project. There's been other classes I've taken,
Hmm.
other courses, whether it's just kind of on a DIY basis. So I have grown and I work with editors. I've learned and learned and learned. I'm a learner,
Okay.
evidently. So I
Right.
like
It
it.
sounds like it from your background, that's for sure.
Mhm.
And I'm sure that varied background has come in very helpful with your writing.
It so has. I take a lot of what I experienced cross culturally as a missionary especially in West Africa, dealing with completely different cultures and in a post Civil War situation where people had fought just for being in different tribes and over
Hmm.
30 years and then seeing the reconciliation process and the rebuilding process, a lot of that has leaked into my fiction through like this hope and survival narratives in the midst of really an oppressive dark regime.
Okay. And was the this series, was this your first bit of creative writing, or had you started out with other projects, maybe short stories or whatnot?
I've done short stories. I'd never really published until I started this process, and since then I
Okay.
have published several different short stories. In fact, one a flash fiction was just published in a local authors anthology
Okay.
the day after I released Caged. I was
Ah,
really surprised by that. I didn't know it was going to release the next day. You're in the
right.
I'm just like head down in release mode, and I was like, oh, I'm releasing another book. Okay.
Right. Right. So your your book is got four protagonists in it.
Yes, it does.
And how do you approach them? Do you write like alternate chapters for each character, or is there one main character that stands out above the rest?
Um, for each book, there is one main character that advances the plot.
Okay.
So you may think about it, they're all doing things in the world. They're all affecting, they're all contributing, but there's for each book, there's one character that kind of takes the lead.
Mm,
For Divided, that was Marcos. And so we were, everything that happened that advanced the plot was done in Marcos's POV. For Cage, that is Rose. And Rose is my chaotic character. I love her, but she can be a bit chaotic. And so Cage is pretty much a wild ride. The book 3, Betrayed, will be Harriet's turn to really advance the plot, and she's very different personality wise from the other characters. And then United, book 4, will be Jason's. But yeah, so each of them get a shot, but the reader is in their POV. They are seeing the world from their POV, so it gives a more rounded view of the
mm,
world.
okay. And so there's going to be 4 books in the series then.
There will be 4 books in the series. Yes.
Okay. And where do we start within? Is the first book is Upheaval? Is that correct?
The first, that is the prequel. Yes, novella. You can
Okay.
start there or you can start in Divided. Really, either
Okay.
way is fine. A lot of
Okay.
people start in Upheaval because it is the one they encounter either for free via like other authors' newsletter lists or on a group promo, what have you. And it's also really cheap on Amazon, like 99 cents for the
Hmm.
ebook. So a lot of people will encounter Upheaval first, but Divided is the first in the main series.
Okay. And does Upheaval, does that cover the actual creation or the events of
Mhm.
the dystopian future?
It sure does. It is based in our present day world. So
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's based in 2025, although it
Okay.
could be. I
Sure.
mean, it feels very modern day. It feels very like normal. It features 2 main characters: Moses, who is an army ranger, so very skilled dude, and then
Hmm.
his fiancee, Julie, who is a math teacher, high school math teacher. And so she's feisty, understands kids, and is learning about the world. And they join a group which will become the underground resistance movement in the books. So they're founders. And in the books, they're in their late 70s, early 80s. And so we see their characters, but they're an older generation, but it's the setup of the world.
Okay. And what
Mhm.
causes the dystopian future? Is it
So a lot of like how we've seen things happen in current world, where you have like an ethnic uh, racially motivated shooting or a police brutality that then blows up into riots. And
Mhm.
just imagine that that doesn't get calmed down. And so there's just this dog pile effect of another event layered on it. And then, you know, then this person gets attacked while walking their dog, and then their neighborhood, their ethnic group counterattacks the group that did it, and then gangs are rising, and so you've got this ratcheting up of violence and aggression.
Mhm.
And in the midst of that, there's an actual plan to take down the nation that is a coordinated plan from our enemies. And they hook up with some of these drug lords and basically pick a winner
Mm.
and resource them. And so it really illustrates how if we don't learn how to collaborate and work together and diffuse the hatred, diffuse the 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 disagreements that
Mhm.
are vocal and violent,
Mhm.
then other interests will step in and they'll just take advantage of it.
Okay. So they always say that a hero is only as good as its villain. What is or who is the villain in your series?
We have several villains, and
Okay.
they kind of grow and change as the series grows and changes.
Mhm.
Um, in the first 2 books, the series is very much based in Queenstown, which is the former Cincinnati, projected into the future. And
Okay.
the main villain of that series is a city councilman who has turned to evil and wants to rule the city on his own, wants his own way. And so his name is Hudson Britwell, and he pairs up with a man who is on the cabinet of the Supreme Commander Martin. So he's one of the ministers on the cabinet, and they're collaborating to try to undermine what is going on in Queenstown, and then use that as a launching pad for more. So
Okay.
Hudson Britwell's in the first 2 books, and then Junior, the other guy, is carries forward, and we really start to feel Supreme Commander Martin's presence in book 3.
Okay. So
Mhm.
how dystopic is this future? Is like has the
Mhm.
infrastructure broken down? Is there still internet?
Yes.
Like what
No internet,
okay.
not for us, not for
Okay.
normal people. The police have internet, and certain other individuals, powerful individuals, can have internet access.
Mhm.
Communications are very limited. Uh, the population is divided by walls, and so you've got white and black and Hispanic and Asian all divided. And it was done pretty indiscriminately. So you might not actually be Hispanic, but just got thrown in there, or you might not actually be white. You just got thrown there because that's what you look like.
Mhm.
And so there's this division of population. Everyone wears a chip, has a chip inside their forearm that they scan to get rations. We are a ration society. There
Mm.
is a market, but it's most people cannot afford most of the things in the market, and so there's definite strata of economics. But I would say even the wealthiest in the future Federated Republic of America is on the lines of pretty poor
Okay.
in our current standards.
All right. So it doesn't sound that far-fetched given today's climate.
Yeah.
How did you um feel about it when you were like, when you were
Mhm.
writing it and
Mhm.
watching the daily news, were you going like, "Oh, I have to push this further," or
Yes. No, I'm not like I have to get it out. I'm
Oh,
writing
okay,
this as a warning for people to really realize where we're headed.
okay.
And I first really got this idea out of an all-night dream in 2012. And
Mm,
this is in that time frame, we all kind of thought we were post-racial. We were post-racism.
right.
We'd elected Obama president, and yay us, we're really figuring out this thing. And no,
Mhm,
we're not, because Trayvon Martin was murdered. So like it was just that reality check on our united conscience, if you will,
mhm,
that okay, we're not really as good as we think. And in that time frame, I had to learn how to write, and that
right.
was the biggest delay, was me learning the craft.
Sure.
And now that okay, I've gone through multiple drafts. I've written my 600,000 words from Stephen King. Thank you very much. In my own drafts, thank you.
Right.
And now, okay, we're publishing. Now it feels very possible. Whereas I think even in 2018, people would have said, "Oh, it's not possible. Like
Right.
we're beyond." But we kept having these things, and then 2020 happened, and it was like,
Mhm.
"Oh no, no, this is very real."
Right, right.
Mhm.
And in a way, you're learning the craft, during that time period has made your books very timely. So you
Mhm.
must feel a bit of extra satisfaction about that as well.
I don't know if you call it satisfaction.
Satisfaction,
Like,
right,
I mean,
right.
I don't want us to go into this future, right?
Right.
I don't want this for us.
Mhm.
And that's why I'm writing, especially in the young adult dystopian genre. I'm aiming this at younger people because I feel like
Okay.
if anyone can help turn our culture, it's the younger people.
Right, right, yeah, "Give them to me when they're young,"
Yep.
as the saying goes.
Mhm.
So I'm curious why you chose 4 protagonists.
Because I really wanted each ethnic group to have its time to advance the plot, to have that
Okay.
meaningful contribution through
Mhm.
their representative of the POV character. And the cultures are very different. Um,
Mm.
when you imagine right now, we're very much like kind of all blobbed together. And we may
Mhm.
have our distinctives, but they're not very visible
Right.
overall. Like we just have this monogamous, like, or monotonous, like big culture. But in the future, if we are all divided and there's walls up and we're not interacting, then there's going to be divergent cultures. It's going to be very different.
Mhm.
And so I wanted the opportunity for each of the protagonists to represent the culture and how they advance the plot.
Okay.
Because
And
the
how
way
did
we work is different.
Sure. And how did you choose which order of, characters to go in?
I really didn't have a say in that. They kind of pick themselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Writers talk about this sometimes about how their characters kind of jostle and mess with them about
Mhm.
plot. But really it was apparent from the get-go that I needed to start with Marcos, and having him advance the story and then move on to Rose just because of their places within the story and
Mhm.
what they were doing.
Okay. And
Mhm.
where, um, the arc of your series, are you geez, how can I ask this way? Because I know you don't wanna give away spoilers, but
Yeah, I won't.
you come to a definite conclusion by the end of the 4 books, I
Yes.
assume.
Yes.
Okay. And did
Mhm.
you find it hard because this is a very charged, uh,
Mhm.
uh, setting that you've created for your
Mhm.
story. Did you find it difficult not to preach at all? Or are
Oh,
you like,
yeah.
did you work hard to give, every
Mhm.
side their say, so to say?
Yes. So part of that 10-year, 12-year delay in before publication was I spent the first 2 years listening,
Mm,
asking a lot of questions and listening. And so I interviewed a lot of people
okay.
based on their ethnic background. I even interviewed other white people because I don't presume that how I grew up is how everyone who looks like me grew up.
Right.
And so I wanted to hear a broad spectrum of what are experiences growing up, what's your family like, what kind of things do you value, how do you grieve, how do
Mhm.
process um, fear and violence and aggression, like what does that look like, and obviously there's individual personality differences too that affect that, not just ethnic, but that's why you need to get more than just one ethnic viewpoint. Even you need a compendium within each ethnicity. So I spent a lot of time listening,
Mm.
a lot
Okay.
of time researching.
Alright. And
Mhm.
how about, feedback? Like, you would get a
Mhm.
draft done, uh, which, since you referenced Stephen King, I'll go there and say that the first draft is with the door closed,
Mhm.
when you're just writing for yourself. Once you're
Yep.
done with it and you're ready to show it to somebody and you open the
Mhm.
door, who did you have a certain group of, friends,
Mhm.
or,
I
how
did.
did you go about that?
I did. I actually found uh, friends of mine who represented each of the different ethnicities, and I
Okay.
had them read the novel,
Okay, so they
and with
basically
a
were your
particular, yes,
they're
with a
basically your
particular eye to their ethnic POV. Yes, it's
right.
like a sensitivity reader.
Yes, yes, that's where
But
I was going. Yeah.
also my developmental editor is a certified sensitivity reader. So
Okay.
there's that backstop as well.
Mm, very good. And so you've got 3 books out now, correct? Including
I
the prequel.
I have 4 books out. There's
Okay.
another little novella. So there's 4 companion novellas in that
Ah,
series that will be released. The last 2 won't be until after I get these next books out.
okay.
But
And
yes, so Upheaval and Deception are in the novella companion series.
oh, okay. And your current book is, um, Caged,
It is
is it?
caged.
And
Yes.
that was just released how long ago?
It
Oh,
was
very
released on
nice.
June 24th. So there's Rose
Okay.
in trouble,
Uh-oh.
as
Rose,
she tends to do. She
and
tends to push.
and she's your favorite character out of the 4, did you say?
No, no,
Oh.
that's definitely Harriet, but don't tell the others.
Okay, I will. Um, y so writing for, like, you had sensitivity writers and representatives of so that how did you
Mhm,
find capturing the young adult mind, for you? Because you're not a
mhm.
teenager,
No,
no
I'm
no
not.
slight intended, but,
No, I'm not.
so, because as an adult, I think a lot of us find,
Mhm.
the younger generations incomprehensible at times. So how did you go about that?
I actually really love Gen Z and millennials, so I may
Okay,
be that weird Gen Xer that actually likes hanging out with them. I do have
okay.
3 Gen Z kids,
Ah,
and I have a because I'm a pastor, I do have a lot of contact with younger generations,
okay.
and, I tend to, like, favor, if I'm gonna have to do one thing for 4 hours, please let it be with youth or young adults, because 'cause they're just the vibrancy. I love
Sure.
the energy, that feeling like you can do anything, even
Mhm.
impossible things, And I love that, just that view of the world that they have. They haven't failed yet, and if they failed, they think it's other people's faults, and they'll figure it out. They'll fail forward. Like it's a good place to be. And I also read a lot of young adult literature, so there's
Oh,
that too.
okay. And how did you take into account? I mean, this is my perception that the younger
Yeah.
generations are very much locked or tied into the internet and social media, and that
Hmm.
you've taken that away from them.
Hmm.
How does that impact how they interact with one another?
In the books, teenagers are still teenagers,
Hmm.
because ultimately what they're looking for with the internet is, one, they're looking for connection
Right.
and maybe entertainment sub after that, and then they're looking for a meaning, a sense of purpose or meaning.
Hmm.
And when they find those three things, it takes off. And so when you see social media that actually succeed, they have managed to find those places. They want to connect with people who think and are interested in the same things they are. They
Hmm.
want to be entertained by those same people, and they want to feel like they have a meaning and a purpose, probably also by those same people.
Okay. That's
Mhm.
I'd be curious, because, I find it hard to imagine how, they would, get along without the internet, but, again, if it's something that you didn't grow up with, that's a different story, but, when you
Yeah,
take
yeah,
away something that you had, uh,
yeah.
I think right there, that would cause a lot of unrest.
Clearly, clearly. And the books aren't set in the immediate post-apocalyptic era. These
Okay.
books are set well in the future,
Oh,
when
okay.
teenagers are now growing up without ever really interacting with even a computer, which to me
Right.
even feels a little incomprehensible. I
Yeah,
didn't grow
for
up with
sure.
computers, but I had them in college. And
Yeah.
so, there's a certain amount of like, this is normal for
Mhm.
us, that
Yeah.
they don't have that. There's not a
Right,
this is normal. Screens aren't normal.
right. Is there, censorship, like, are books still available in this, vision of yours, or how does that, work?
Mm-mm.
No
No,
books?
books are not available,
Mm,
and only what is given in school is available. And so
okay.
there's not this like training in the classics like we do. There's
Mhm,
not awareness of what really happened before the Civil War, and the regime controls the narrative. And
mm,
I picked up that little nugget from other dictatorships and how they
okay.
operate.
So all that
Hmm.
culture is lost?
It's
Like, there
lost.
were big book burning
Yes,
ceremonies, I guess,
and
or
if you ask about it, you get in trouble.
Ah,
So
okay.
there's a control element there too. It's
Right.
not just a control of what you have access to, but it's a control what you can even ask about.
Mhm. Okay, so as a pastor, how does
Mhm.
religion figure into your stories?
There is no religion
Mm,
in the regime.
okay.
It's completely forbidden, any religion other than honoring the supreme commander, um, which feels very much like what North Korea is like.
Okay.
That was the basis for the regime. And so there were people executed because they were operating as religious leaders and or encouraging others in another religion other than worshiping the supreme commander,
Hmm.
and not just Christian and Buddhist, Muslim,
And so there's no, like,
others.
underground, uh, movements, going on, or
Now, if I said that, the supreme commander
okay.
would go looking for them, right? Yes, there
Fair
are.
enough. Okay,
Yes,
because
of
that
course there
just
are, because you cannot keep that. You can't
yeah,
keep people from doing that. Um,
yes,
they just have to
yes,
be very discreet about it.
and I would imagine that there's an underground market for books and music as well. Um, I would have to assume because,
Yeah.
like religion,
Mhm,
the
mhm.
need for creative, the need for escape from, the real world
Mhm.
was always present, no
Yes,
matter how utopian your society might be.
exactly.
Okay, so, I think that's all the questions I have about your series. Is
Yeah.
there anything about it that I haven't asked you that you would like to mention?
I think the only thing I can think of is that even though these are young adult dystopian books,
Mhm.
I've had readers up until age 80, and
Right.
they've enjoyed the books. And so
Oh,
I would just encourage
fantastic.
people that even if you don't think this is something you like, you
Hmm.
might be surprised.
Okay, very cool.
Mhm.
And your your latest book was just out a month ago. When is your next
Mhm.
book due?
Next book is coming out in 2026, and I don't have a date yet for that. I won't
Okay.
set that until we get through developmental editing. But
Okay.
in
And
the meantime, I do have an offer for your listeners.
right. And we will put the link up. And
Yep.
what's that offer all about?
They get Upheaval, the prequel novella ebook for free when they
Hmm.
sign up for my monthly, semi monthly, sometimes underground newsletter. So they become part of the movement, part of the underground to fix the world.
Right.
And join that newsletter list, and you get ebook for Upheaval for free.
Cool. How far along are you with your current book?
I am just past the midpoint. So I'm about
Uh,
48,000 words in of a 90,000 word projected book.
Very cool. And
Yes.
maybe this is too far off in the future for you to think about, but have you thought about what you would do beyond the current series?
I have so many ideas. Yes.
Okay.
I've got a standalone within this world
Hmm.
um, that's been brewing in my brain. And then I've got a prequel duology of sort of my character's parents'
Hmm.
generation. So they'll be sort of the mid generation. And then I would love to expand Upheaval to a full book,
Mm.
um, maybe, maybe even two.
Okay. Very cool. Well,
And I have ideas beyond that, but I won't share them.
awesome. Awesome. Well, it does. It seems like you're well positioned to continue forward with your writing
Mhm.
career.
I feel it. Yes, I love it. It's like
Awesome.
play. It doesn't feel
Yeah.
like work.
Right. Are you a very organized writer, or do you
Mhm.
just sort of let the story flow?
Yes, I'm pretty organized.
Okay.
I wrote the whole series from front to back,
Okay.
and then I plotted and I fixed things. And so now that I'm writing book three, I have a plot that I follow an outline. It's very it's not very detailed. I
Hmm.
don't lock myself into a very granular detail, but it
Right.
has this is what we need to do in this scene. This is what we
Hmm.
need to accomplish in it. And then if I make changes, I go back and I modify the outline. But yes, I'm pretty organized. I'm a very
Okay.
organized person as it is.
Mm. Uh, One last question. I think you touched upon
Mhm.
this a bit earlier. Do your characters ever surprise you?
Yes. Yes, they do. And it throws off my plot outlines, and I'm mad about it, and I have to take a walk around the house for about 5 minutes, and then I come back and I realize they're right.
Mhm. Okay. So but I guess in retrospect, that must be pretty cool when it happens.
Yeah, it is. It's a little nerve-wracking because after I write a scene, I'm looking, especially Rose, I'm looking at her going, "Okay, girl, how are you gonna get out of this? Because you
Okay.
just got yourself into a bigger pickle than I
Right.
was gonna put you in. If you wanted a
Right.
bigger pickle, now what you gonna do?"
Right. And your books are available at all the usual outlets?
All the usual outlets. Ebooks are in Amazon only for the series because they're
Mhm.
in KDP. So if you have a Kindle Select membership, you can read them for free.
Awesome. Well, I
Yeah.
wish you all the best with your future projects, and thank you for taking the time to do this.
Thank you so much, Lou.
You're welcome. Take care now. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.